Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. All right, and just had here this song by J Electronica, which has some pretty interesting lyrics to it. Just a common example of how Jacob has a zeal of righteousness, but not according to knowledge. All right, and what Jake likes to do is pick and choose and take certain stuff from the scriptures, but then have their own little twist, or just for fun, they'll throw in some part of the doctrine from another philosophy. All right. And that's exactly what this guy J Electronica did. He's of course with the NOI, Nation of Islam, and that's something that they've done because they know that the scriptures are true, but they'll take parts of the scriptures and then they'll use the Quran, which is completely false, right? And the scriptures talks about going in the ways of these other gods and goddesses. It talks about Israel is under every green tree. All right, and it just, you can't fuse truth and lies, man. Scripture talk about you can't mix the sweet water with the bitter. All right, you cannot mix them. And that's what he's to going straight. That's what he did, going straight to the lyrics. All right, because it says. Up here it says, what, a stowed away captive a long way home from Zion, which that's talking about us, Zion being Israel, because you got a lot of jakes who'll say Zion is Africa, which that's incorrect. All right, but then it goes on to say that wheel inside a wheel, a half a mile in circumference, is the return of the Mahdi, is the return of the Aki's, right? And that wheel within the wheel, we know it's talking about the chariots. All right, so these guys apparently, if that's what the Nation of Islam believes, then they understand that those things that we're seeing in the heavens, at a very increased rate, so much so that they had to actually come out and say that they didn't know what they were, all right, or chariots of the Lord. All right, let's go to the scriptures to prove that. All right, not going to be long. This is Daniel 7:9. It said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. All right, so you had chariots around his throne. All right, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set and the books were open. All right, and we know that those are the angels. And then it says Psalms 104:4, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. All right. So the Lord, his throne is fire, chariots were fire. The angels, which are spirits, they're fire. All right, that energy. Okay, his minister, we're a flaming fire too. We're a fire as well. All right. Then you go to because man, they completely botch it. They completely botch the breakdown. And if the breakdowns aren't coming from the scriptures, then they're just not true. Like here it mentions Ezekiel 1:15. Salakia had it. Right, verse 16. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, all right, the stone, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. All right, then it goes on. The wheel within the wheel is talking about the chariot. It's talking about a chariot. All right, it's talking about a chariot. He correctly recognized that. All right, now real quick, because once again, if it's not written in the scriptures, then it's not correct doctrine. All right, that's correct. But then he started to mention, the tribe of Shabazz and all this other stuff that's not mentioned in the scriptures. Look, the thing about Ishmael was the son of was one of the sons of it's one of the sons of Abraham, excuse me. All right. You had Ishmael and you had Isaac. And Ishmael's mother was Hagar, who was Sarah's maidservant. And the scriptures talk about that. What's it say? The son of the bondwoman. All right. Hey, basically, Ishmael was sent off, and Isaac was given the blessing, which he later passed down to Jacob. To make a long story short, all right, Ishmael was not given the blessing. All right, so you got our people who, they're so caught up what they're doing in the Middle East. Here it is, they got all that money, all these resources, they got land, all right, but they still haven't included you in their business. All right, they still haven't shaken your hand. They haven't really acknowledged. Yeah, they might have had some speakers or something. All right, but in the worldwide Muslim campaign, they don't mention the Nation of Islam. These other countries they don't. All right, because that's not for you. And this is Salaki. This is some more of his teachings. It says this is more of his teachings, all right? Because before I looked it up, I didn't even know that they taught this. All right, it says, in his recent sermon, Farrakhan said, "We believe our words that we have shared on the presence of the wheel could help the president and America to avert Allah's warning of chastisement and destruction if America does not bow down." All right, hey, look, according to the scriptures, man, America is going to be chastised and destroyed, point blank, period. All right, that's written many, many times. Ain't no averting nothing. And it says the final thing is the destruction. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us of a giant mother plane that is made like the universe, spheres within spheres. White people call them unidentified flying objects. Ezekiel in the Old Testament saw a wheel that looked like a cloud by day, but a pillar of fire by night, which that's talking about a chariot. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the wheel was built on the island of Nippon, which is now called Japan, by some of the original scientists. It took $15 billion in gold at that time to build it. It is made of so just a bunch of stuff, man. Just a bunch of gimmicks and a bunch of hearsay and shit that Jake made up, man. And let's get to it. I'm not even going to read through all this. It says, it is a circular plane, and the Bible says it never turns because of its circular nature. All right, let's just go straight to the scriptures. All right. Even though, Jay Electronica, once again, he has a zeal of righteousness. They're saying he was dealing with one of the Rothschilds, Evelyn Rothschild or whatever. Be that he's still dealing with her, or that was, her, rebellious stage. Because, that's what these women do. They become rebellious to their house, and they go and they, deal with, like the Israelite woman. They go and deal with the Edomite man, and then they try to run back, and shit just ain't the same no more. Now, of course, us as the Israelite men, if we want to deal with heathen women, we can deal with heathen women. All right, but our women ain't supposed to be dealing with heathen men. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 13 talks about Yahweh Shai coming back on a chariot. This is 2nd Ezra 13:5. It said, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." I was talking about a chariot. Right? Sometimes the scriptures, it says it was an account where he said he tried to look from one end to the other and could not, because the chariot was so big. He said, "But I would have seen the regional place, right, where the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, yeah, they fought on. All right, the Lord has hardened the hearts of these different leaders, and he's going to harden the hearts of their soldiers too. So they fight against them. All right, even though they're so afraid, they said, lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor any sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. I saw a laser, basically. What they would say, a laser. All right? So, ain't no chariots, made out of $18 billion worth of, well, shit, I don't know what the chariots are made of, but it ain't made out of no damn $18 million worth of gold from Japan somewhere, where a bunch of scientists put it together. Nah, man. That's madness, all right? All of that mixed doctrine and shit, and and Jake, man, try to get into things that are higher than what they understand, man. That's why it's important to stay grounded and stay with things that we know and understand. All right, that's madness, man. What they say, Esau was created in a lab or something. Yakub, the big-headed scientist, the 9 ethers, all of this stuff that just Jake trying to be, too deep, right? And people get fooled by that. All right, so, hey, Lord willing, it's edifying. Like I said, man, Jake has a zeal, but if you're not doing what the Lord has told you to do according to his words, then the scripture's talking about, man, a lot of people are going to be beaten with few stripes. And then it tells you the ones that knew, they're going to be beaten with many stripes. All right? We want salvation. Shalom.